Ooh, girl.
Girl.
We are back in the same studio. I love it. I love being next to you.
Me too.
I don't like doing podcasts away. That's
I
like,
know.
I know. Summer obviously got us like a little out of whack, but we're back, baby. And we have such a good episode today, you guys. We're talking hot takes, red flags, and boy, do we have a lot of them.
We have a ton.
It's so important to know red flags before you book any of your vendors or venues because you do not want to be put in a situation where you're picking wrong and then it bites you in the, you know what.
And we've all heard horror stories about how brides have not gotten the like quantity or quality back of the photos that they wanted, or even like the cake that they ordered. The
You
inspo
order a cake
pics.
and then it shows up and it's like doesn't look anything like it.
Golly.
Or how about a DJ? This has actually happened to me. Not my wedding, or like it was my sister's wedding. I'm just gonna call her out. She literally had a DJ who showed up with like a computer, a phone, and a Spotify list, and like that was her DJ.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's just super important to obviously look at the red flags. We have a ton of them. We're here to provide that to you just so that you guys have a little more guidance in this process. So starting off, a big one for me is transparency and communication. Wedding planning is hard enough. So if you are sitting there putting out inquiry after inquiry and no one is getting back to you, I would not want to be working with somebody that is not good at communicating, because the first thing I'm thinking of is like, if it's this difficult to get in contact with you, how is it going to be when I'm actually your client?
Right.
And I've like paid you already. You have a retainer. We have a contract in place. You know, I don't want to work with people who don't communicate.
We had like a rule where if a vendor didn't get back to us within 24 to like 48 hours, we kind of just marked them off and moved on to the next person. Like I had a vendor that I reached out to that didn't get back to me for a week.
And the thing is I get it. Like, you have busy season. If I have a lot of people who will reach out to me on the weekends, and I'm like, I'm doing weddings on the weekends. So, but putting it out of office, or, you know, just communicating with the couple ahead of time, like, hey, this is when I'm available. These are my working hours. This is the best way to get in touch with me. This is the best form of communication. This is the style of communication that works best for me. And just getting on the same page. You just don't want to get caught up in a situation where you cannot get in touch with your vendors.
Also, too, if they don't have like a website that you can look at to like base their content off of, like a cake baker or florals or anything, like how I researched you. Like, I looked into your content creation and you had so much content and I loved it. And that's why I reached out to you.
Obviously, we understand that people are starting out. There's nothing wrong with like newer vendors. You have to start somewhere. We all did it. But I would be very transparent about your pricing. Your pricing should reflect the fact that you're newer. Maybe do a couple of weddings for free. I did that as a content creator when I first started out. Even as a planner, like, I shadowed people beforehand. You just want to be super transparent about the knowledge and the experience that you have, so that you're not over-promising and under-delivering when it comes to especially a wedding. A big one, too, is just transparency. Like, don't offer something that you can't deliver. Don't sit there and say, like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then your contract, there's nowhere in your contract that it states any of those things. Like, your contract should be super cut and dry, very clear. If anyone has a question, they should be able to ask you. You should be able to answer very clearly, be super knowledgeable about what it is that you offer and your expertise in that field.
Well, and speaking of pricing and contracts with that, is if a vendor's pricing is super low, that's kind of a red flag to me, because, I mean, you get what you pay for, basically. Plus, if it's not cut and dry in their contract, like, how do you pay, like, your payment plan, like, all of those facts about paying, then
a total pay structure should be in there. Like, my contract, it tells you when the deposit's due, when at 50%, at the 50% mark, this is what's due. This is when your final payment's due. This is how I accept payment. This is the way that you can pay me. So everything should be very detailed in there. There should be no questions about, how you're getting paid. Another one is just like, don't pay somebody cash. Like, if somebody's saying cash is the preferred method, that is a huge red flag. I would be running for the hills on that one.
Well, and also cancellation policies.
Yeah. Like, I think also, though, going back to like payment, like, don't pay in full. Ever. Don't pay in cash. No. Don't pay in full. Don't pay somebody like if it's like, oh, I accept check, but it's to my personal email, or they're emailing you back and forth with like a personal, like, everyone should have a business email, something that just states that they are a business entity, because you don't want to get scammed. In today's age, I feel like everyone is so shady. You constantly are reading out in the Facebook forums, like people are scamming you left and right. So I think just being very diligent about like who you're paying and how you're paying them and how much money you're putting down. Really, any like professional that I know in this field is going to ask for a deposit first. That's just to save the date. And then there is some sort of payment structure. Unless you're booking me like 2 weeks before your wedding, I'm not going to expect you to pay in full. That's just insane. So
I also think something a little unprofessional is if like, say a vendor's offering something else, like say if they're a DJ and they're offering like content creation with being a DJ.
Okay, so I'm going to call out some people today. And I know this is probably going to ruffle some people, but
do it.
When I say like the amount of content creators who came out of the woodworks once it became popular and people wanted that service were probably the same people that were talking shit on it. But they're now like, I'm a content creator. No, I'm so sorry. You are a photographer. You are a planner. You are a florist. You are a DJ. You're not hooking up your, whatever, Osmo, DJI, whatever it is, or a separate camera on top of your DSLR camera and calling it content creation for your clients. Like, stop overpromising and under-delivering. I'm so sorry, but you have literally one job that you were paid for. If you are a photographer, there is no way at someone's wedding that you have enough time to be their photographer and their content creator. I'm calling BS. Run for the hills. That is a red flag.
Once they need to stick to what they do best. Say if it is like a florist or a photographer. If it is a florist, they might could set up your florals, and if they're good with their phone and taking shots for content creation, then so be it. They do their florals before, then they do the content creation. But if you're a photographer, even, like, do what you do best. That's what they hire you for, is for your photos and for your edits and everything like that. You may not be as good at capturing videos. Like,
no, so here's the thing too. I offer multiple services. I offer planning. I offer content creation. I've been hired to do both on the same day. But guess what I'm not doing? I'm not planning your wedding, coordinating your day, and doing content for you. Like, I am doing one task. I have a team in place. My team will come in and coordinate the day while I'm doing content creation, or I will have a content creator on my team come and capture your day while I coordinate it. Because in no way, shape, or form, it's just there's way too many things going on or that could go wrong. You need to be focused on your one task. So anybody who's sitting there saying, like, I have this service and this service and this service, unless they have a team around them and they are collaborating with somebody that does that service and that's on their team and there's separate entities coming in and doing those services for you, I'm so sorry, but they are lying to you. You are not getting both services to the best of their ability. There's no way.
And you need to be careful on like Facebook. If you're in any Facebook groups and just a random person messages you or a random person comments and says, "Oh, I do content," like, you need to research and do your investigating. Honestly, go to Google reviews and look through there, because that's more trustworthy. I feel like
reviews are a huge one though.
100%.
Like, if somebody doesn't have any reviews, I mean.
And granted, some people are just now getting started, but like, they have to have some type of content or florals or makeup or hair photos or something to show.
So that's what I mean by being transparent. Like, you can be starting off, but you also are probably doing a few services for free before you're getting paid for those services for a wedding, or you're shadowing some people and then shadow a content creator and utilize their, or be like a second shooter for a photographer and use those pictures, or like, there's ways to build up your portfolio. You can do styled shoots. I would also be very transparent about the fact that it's a styled shoot because it's very different than an actual wedding. But there are ways to get experience without having to lie. And
that's kind of like me, like shooting for you. I do content creation for you, and I had to start somewhere, and I had to shadow you in some, and I had to get to where I'm at now. I mean, I love content creation. I edit my own videos. I edit some of my wedding videos that you shot for me too, but I had to start somewhere. And so.
No, 1,000%. And that's all just goes back to transparency. You just have to be very upfront and honest with people. If a couple is having a consultation call with the vendor and the vendor is not able to answer certain questions, that to me speaks like you're not being transparent, or you're hiding something, or you're just not knowledgeable in that field. And I want somebody who's super confident. They've done it before. They've at least done it a couple of times, or they can show me what they have, but they have some sort of knowledge, especially as a planner. If you're entrusting that big of a job for your wedding and that person is like humming and hawing and they don't know how to answer the question, I'd be like, man, I want somebody who feels confident in this space. I don't necessarily think that they have to work that specific venue before. I have a lot of brides who will reach out to me and they're like, hey, have you ever worked this venue before? And I feel like depending on my answer, saying yes or no, that definitely like changes their mind a little bit about, or has the, like a sense of, oh, you've never worked at this venue, so you may not be good at that. I think if you're a planner and you've planned hundreds of weddings, like it doesn't really matter what the venue is. You're looking at what their stipulations are, their guidelines, and you're able to follow that. You're able to reach out to vendors. So I wouldn't necessarily skew that as a red flag if they've never actually worked your venue, but I would be making sure that they have Google reviews, legit reviews from clients that they've worked for, and not just vendors, because vendors love them. Obviously we network and we support each other, but if you just have a bunch of photographers saying, oh, pick me, pick this person, pick that person, and there's no real Google reviews backing that business up, I would be a little weary of that too.
Yeah. I do think, back to kind of go off on a tangent of, if you haven't worked that venue, like with content creation, if that bride wants you to work, say, Dunes West, Lowndes Grove, and you haven't shot there, that would kind of be enticing to me, because that would be like your first content of my wedding that you're shooting at that place. So I think that's a huge green flag in my opinion.
But also too, it's like every single wedding is different, especially with content. There's so much that goes into it. It's the lighting on your day. What kind of weather did you have? What kind of aesthetic did you choose? I mean, obviously a wedding with $30,000 worth of florals is just going to photograph and be different in content than somebody who DIY'd all of their flowers. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with either or, but I'm just saying, like, you are getting a different product because of what we're shooting, right? Yeah. I don't think it deters you from picking a vendor just because they have never worked that venue before. I think if you know what you're doing, then you can kind of make magic out of any scenario.
For sure.
And that's really just boils down to like having a conversation. That's why we have consultation calls with people. That's why we answer their questions and make them feel comfortable. The more information and kind of relationship that you have with them leading up to the day just sets you up for a better scenario. And I think it's just a better experience for everybody all around.
I think another thing is, and I have even heard it from my friends and kind of family that are kind of in the wedding industry, but vendors talking shit about other vendors.
Okay, so this happened to me before. Yeah. So I actually had a bride call me and tell me that another content creator basically called her and was like, oh, that you picked that person? Oh, well, again, it went back to me offering planning and content creation. And she was basically like, well, that person's not going to be able to give you like good content because they're also planning for you. Having no idea about my business model or how I run my business or who my team is or anything like that, she said to the bride, like, well, good luck. I hope your pictures and your content turn out well. And it was so rude to the point where I had to contact that person. And I also, like, I had to basically then talk my bride off the ledge. She was totally confident with me. We had multiple conversations leading up to that point just for planning purposes. And I even said, I said, girl, if you don't feel confident with me doing both services, that's okay. I will literally let you pick somebody else. She's like, no, absolutely not. To this day, she's still posting my content. She's still raving about my planning abilities. I had one of my coordinators come in and work that whole wedding so that it ran smoothly. So it's just not a good look. We're all in a community together. We all work together. Her and I have obviously mended that bridge, and I would never say who it is. Whatever, but let bygones be bygones. But it's so incredibly unprofessional and so rude, and it just puts a bad taste in other vendors' mouths. We are a close-knit community, and everybody hears what you say about other people. Even if you're working at weddings and you're like, ooh, that photographer, ooh, that person, it gets back to everybody. And people don't want to work with you if you're negative and you're constantly putting people down and you're just kind of like a hassle. It also just makes the day itself, like, the couple feeds off of your energy as vendors. And so having like a really good vendor crew makes all the difference in a wedding day. And it just makes it go smoother. It's more professional. It's just more fun. it just, I don't know. It's like if there are any red flags, like we all come together, we all work it out, like we're a team on that day, really. So sitting there and like bad mouthing other people, it just makes you look bad at the end of the day. And if your vendors are talking crap about other vendors that you have hired, I would think very strongly before you hire them to work on your wedding day.
I agree. And the attitude that vendors put on throughout the day, like you said, really affects the bride. I know I had one of my vendors, I'm not going to say who at my wedding, but just had a blah kind of personality and attitude that day. And I brushed it off, but it affected me. I was like, what? This is my day. Be happy. Like,
yeah.
You're here for me. Enjoy me.
And the biggest ones I would say is like your media team. Like you spend more time with your media team than you do your husband or your wife on the wedding day. So it's like, oh my gosh, like you need somebody that's going to be hyping you up, making you feel good. You need like, again, it goes back to like everyone was, so harsh against content creators in the very beginning. And it's like, okay, so as a photographer, if you have to work with a content creator because your couple purchased one and hired one, like, are you going to be nasty to them? Because that just makes everybody feel uncomfortable. That makes the whole aura and the energy go down. And the couples do feed off of that. So having like a great media team that is super communicative, that's very collaborative, that's just like very kind and like willing to work with each other, because we're all going after the same goal. And that's to make sure that we are capturing the most beautiful pictures, videos for you to have for a lifetime. Your florist, you don't really hang out with as much. Your DJ, obviously you want good vibes with like the music and things like that. Your planner's a huge one. You're communicating with them all throughout the day. So you definitely want to make sure that you guys are on the same page and that you have a good relationship. And then hair and makeup. Like they set the tone for the day. So you definitely want a strong hair and makeup team that is going to make you feel pretty and make you feel heard. And, if you want something changed on the day, they kind of go with the flow. And, they're shooting the shit with you when you're like drinking mimosas 8 o'clock in the morning.
And they need to fit your vibe. Do you want them to be yappy? Do you want them to be quiet? Do you want peace on your morning? Or do you want to talk? Like, I mean,
if you're a super introverted person, I don't think you should probably be picking hair and makeup people who are like, woo, let's get a party. It's like you want somebody that can kind of like calm you and keep you like at peace throughout the day. So I think just having those consultation calls are so huge. That's why I always want to get on the phone call. I always want to get on the phone with a bride or a couple just to like make sure that we mesh, make sure it's a good fit for both parties too.
You were super talkative and like you walked me through everything, but also I could tell you were very chill. And I knew that like that's what I wanted, and I knew you were down to business. You're a boss. You know what?
Well, I also feel like I'm the type of person, and I think a lot of people are like this, where you can kind of read a room. Like you can kind of know like, okay, this is more of like a tense situation. Like, can I adjust? And like, if you just have somebody who is like kind of oblivious and doesn't really like read your feelings or doesn't have that emotional intelligence, like, it's not necessarily a red flag, but I would just be looking out for that before you book them to work on your wedding day. Another big one is trusting your intuition.
Yeah. Yes.
Vibe check.
If someone gives off a really bad vibe, I don't think I want you working my wedding. Sorry.
Like, yeah, they could look great on paper or have a great website, but if you're just like, you just, I don't know. I'm not digging it. Or if somebody is giving you like a portfolio, but you're like, I feel like I've seen these videos or these pictures before, and they're like using Google to like promote themselves or using somebody else's information or content. That's obviously a no-no. But if something feels icky, like like if something feels off, I would take your intuition and run with it and just know that like it probably isn't right.
We got really weird vibes from one vendor and we ended up running for the hills. So trust your intuition, I promise. I also want to be devil's advocate here and say that some clients also give red flags.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, first and foremost, somebody who is just inquiring and they give no information, I'm like, okay, if you don't have your venue picked out, if you don't know your budget, if you don't know your guest count, I just want somebody who's like can give me a little bit more. Also, just don't ghost me. I'm so over people like, why are you going on my website, clicking on the form, filling out the information? You're taking the time to do that. And then when I message you back literally 2 minutes later, because I'm very good about getting right back to anybody who inquires with me, and they just like never hear from them again. I'm like, what was the point of doing that?
Especially if they inquire and they don't know any information about their wedding as well. Like, you should know your guest count. You should know your venue.
At least an estimated guest count.
Right. Like roundabout, like, are you eloping? Is it going to be like 15 people? Or like,
Is this a destination?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also
Do you
don't
really
want to.
need a content creator?
I don't want to go in with somebody who, like, okay, so this happened to me recently, and I really, really am hoping that these people are being honest with me, but they canceled with me, and I didn't want to be a total a-hole and be like, well, technically your wedding's in 3 months, and my policy is anything before 4 months, like, you pay in full if you cancel on me. Because honestly, they had a really popular wedding date that I had to turn down a lot of inquiries for because I had already booked them. And then one of them texted me and was like, hey, the wedding's called off. I don't know, like, can I get my money back? And I was like,
if you had to turn down weddings for their date that they booked.
So that is why you put down a deposit. That's why you put down a non-refundable deposit, because it secures your date. Because if you cancel, at least we're getting some money.
Yeah.
But if you cancel that soon, like, I'm not filling that space. And they had me for planning and content, so that's a lot of money. I'm not getting that much money back. Now, if they legit aren't together, then I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be an a-hole. Like, that's already a crappy situation. So I'm not a monster. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I'm not going to give you your deposit back, but I'm not going to make you pay the whatever,
Yeah.
the additional fees that you actually did owe me. But if I find out that they got married, trust and believe I will be going after them.
Yeah, that's kind of sketch.
Just saying.
That's rude, whoever you are.
It's rude to a certain extent. I understand that things happen. Like, there's deaths in the family. People do break up. Like, I had a bride message me once and was like, hey, I'm so sorry, but my fiance was cheating on me and I just found out. So, like, obviously the wedding's off. Like, you don't know the circumstances. I wasn't like, hey, can you give me the details as to why you broke up? But I was like, hey, your wedding is in 3 months. Like, I just want to make sure that this isn't, because they had also inquired about having their photographer be their content creator. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if it was just one of those things where they thought they could save a buck. And they were like, well, it'd probably be easier if we just, like, lost our deposit and cancel now. I'm just saying, if I find out that y'all are getting married, I'll be happy for you. But also, I'm coming for you to get my money.
I'm excited to hear about this. I'm going to ask you after we're done recording.
A last one I would say is, like, when people are inquiring, I see this all the time on these Facebook groups, when people are like, looking for a florist that doesn't break the bank. And I'm like, stop using the word break the bank. First of all, no one knows what that means to you. Everyone's bank is different. Right. And what breaks your bank may not break my bank and vice versa. So just give us what your budget is. And then the people who are within your budget can then tell you if they're available and they can reach out and give you their information.
I've seen that so many times in this Facebook group that I'm in for down here. Just break the bank. Like, no one, like you said, no one knows your price point. Say a price. Like, put a price on it. Like, $1,000, $5,000. Like, what is your break the bank?
Because it's instantly giving me, you're cheap.
I'm not going to comment my business under your post.
Like, you want so sorry. Stop saying break the bank. Moving on to freaking hot takes. Because honestly, I'm fiery. Okay, so this is a really good one that's been going on. Cam's spilling over here. She's so hot she had to freaking pour her drink all over herself.
I needed to cool myself off, guys. Sorry, excuse me. Let me dab.
I really hope that people are watching this and not just listening, because this is actually comical now that you have,
because I have
drink all over you.
Drink all over my shirt if you're just listening.
It's giving mommy.
It's giving mommy. Cut that.
Okay. So hot freaking takes. Dude, I am loving these hot takes that we have. Okay, first of all, this one has been swirling around. I think I even saw it on the news, but I'm going to let you take it because you're actually the one who brought it to my attention.
Sorry, this spillage just really messed me up. So, first hot take. I saw this on the news. Actually, no, not the news. TikTok on the news. A couple was selling tickets for their wedding. It was like round about like $57 for like a basic package of the ticket, and then if you wanted the full experience for like the whole weekend, whatever they were having was like $900, like round about $900.
I think it was closer to 1,000. It was like $997 or something crazy. It was like for a 3-day weekend.
I sent it to you. $997.
Like, what? Like, the audacity of someone to be like, hey, can you pay me $1,000 to come to my wedding? Like, what are you offering?
And,
like, what is this experience that I'm going on right now? Also, I don't even really want to be a part of your 3-day wedding festivity. Like, just pick a day. I'll try to be there. If not, I'll send you a gift. But I'm not carving out a whole week for your freaking wedding and then paying $1,000 on top of that.
Also, too, the couple ended up having $130,000 left over and ended up donating it. Nothing wrong to donating to charities. I mean, I love that. But the leftover money that they scammed their wedding guests out of, they ended up donating to charity. They should have just given it back to the guests.
I know. Honestly, I would be peeved if I was one of those guests. And also, like, what experience are you actually giving? Is there, like, gold-plated Wagyu beef? Is there, like, a hot air balloon that we're going on? Like, what are we doing for $1,000 at your wedding?
I hope so.
Because, I mean, you can feed people for less than $1,000 a couple. That's crazy.
When I want to know, because I didn't, like, dig into it, I want to know, like, where they got married. And, like, what the venue was.
Even New York. I would think that's one of the most expensive places to get married, or L.A. Like, dude, it does not... I mean, also, too, like, just the audacity to ask people to come to your wedding, take the time off. Some people are flying. And then you want me to pay close to $1,000 for my husband and I to come attend your wedding? Dude, my mom and dad would be like, sorry, can't make it. Love you.
Can't be there.
We'll send you a
Love you,
gift.
man.
I can barely get a destination wedding out of these people. You think they're going to pay me $1,000 to come? No. Best of luck to you. Hope it works out. Hope you have a good night.
Hope your wedding goes well. And you last a long time.
Send those pics. Post those pics on Facebook. Granny will be looking from the computer screen. Oh my gosh. So I just saw this TikTok the other day of this bridal shop owner who was like getting ready to record a video, keeps the recording on. Everyone thought it was a skit because this is how crazy it was. The mom walks in for her appointment. She's like 40 minutes early, which is automatically just gross. Show up on time. Don't show up early. And then she has a wedding gown that the woman actually designed. And she was like, hey, I have an appointment. I'm such and such's mother. I'm the mother of the bride. And I want you to just shorten this dress for me. And the bridal owner's like, that's a wedding dress. And she's like, yeah, but like, it's not going to look like a wedding dress. Like once you cut it, like the design that I have is like totally fine. And it won't look anything like a wedding dress. And she's like, it's white. Like, how will this not look like a wedding dress? And she goes on and on and on. She gives like attitude. She basically ends up storming out of the store. And then the bridal owner was like, no, it was not a skit. This is real life. The bride is my client. She's like, I said, absolutely not. Like, there's no way that I can. No, like the bride had requested like jewel tones or something crazy. And this mother shows up with a legit white dress and it's like, just cut it. It'll be fine.
The bridal owner should have taken it and dyed it a different color.
It's like, dude, it doesn't matter. First of all, a wedding dress, even in its most simplistic form, is still a freaking different dress than any other dress that you're going to wear.
When some moms...
Stop wearing white to your daughter's wedding day.
Yes.
It's obnoxious. It's not your day. You had your day like
It's
20,
not.
30 years ago.
It's not your day.
So many
It's not your
moms
day.
like live vicariously through their daughters on their wedding day. It's actually sickening. Like, it's sickening. Like,
Yeah.
you already had your day. If not, have another wedding with your husband. Renew the vows. Whatever you got to do to scratch the itch or whatever you say. But, like, stop wearing white to your daughter's wedding.
Preach.
It's stupid. Like, why are you doing that? Don't do that.
Another thing that bothers me is having black tie attire as your dress code, but not giving like a black tie experience.
1,000%.
It like if you're saying that it needs to be black tie attire, like white tie, I hope to Lord Jesus Almighty you have a white tie experience. But if you have black tie attire listed as your dress code and you are not serving me hors d'oeuvres on a platter.
If I'm showing up in a floor-length gown
That I purchased.
and then I'm standing in a buffet to get my dinner, no.
No.
I'm
No, no,
not
sir.
coming.
No, and some people say it just to cover their butts because they know like either the groom's family or the bride's family may or may not show up in something that they don't want them wearing, like jeans or khakis or something. So they're trying to say black tie to make it seem a little more dressy and sophisticated just to cover their butts. But like
also, black tie
Black-
is like tuxedos and
Yes.
long floor-length gowns. Like,
if you were
if we're
telling your
if we're
guests-
having a backyard wedding, like, stop calling it a black tie experience. That's not what we're getting. So let the attire fit the experience and the aesthetic of the actual wedding. And if you're confused by that, we'll eventually have a whole episode on attire and wedding dresses and all the etiquette and stuff like that. But you can also Google that shit.
Yeah.
Also, what is white tie?
White tie is like more formal than black tie.
Oh, that's like gala.
I see. We need to get a lady on here to talk about dress codes because I personally would love to know
We could also get
the
a
levels
man.
of it. Or a
Gotta be a
man.
lady.
We could get a fella up in here.
Listen,
Tell us
we're
about
inclusive in these pods. Oh God, I can't say pods again because I sound like a freaking idiot.
pods in the pods.
In these pods.
Another thing that bothers me too is people skipping the ceremony on purpose and showing up to the reception.
That's so rude.
It's
Stop
tacky.
doing that. It's also
very
just like,
tacky.
so I also had the flip happen to me, which was super annoying for my wedding. I'd have some people show up to my ceremony, RSVP, and then not stay for dinner. And I'm like, yo, I already paid for you. Can you
I paid
please
for
just
your
sit down and
plate.
eat this damn plate?
Right. I will
Eat
say,
the Wagyu beef, bitch. Eat it.
I will tell myself. We were late to a ceremony. God, this is so embarrassing. It was when I was a little bit younger. We were late. Me
5
and my
days
boyfriend
ago.
were a little bit last weekend. We were a little late to a ceremony and we ended up skipping it and just going to the reception. I cannot tell you how bad I felt. Like it. Please just don't do that.
Here's the thing:
'Cause
the
you'll feel
the
bad.
couple probably won't even know or recognize it, but it is rude.
I'm not gonna later on they'll find out. Like I dug and found out who didn't RSVP to my wedding and who showed up and who didn't show up. And I have that in the back of my brain.
Okay, she's coming
So,
for you.
I mean,
She coming for you.
marked it down.
Cam doesn't forget.
I don't. Some things I do because I got mom brain, but
Definitely just make it to the ceremony and the reception. Don't just come for the
Mhm.
pate unless there's, in your case, you did have a wedding where you only had an intimate ceremony and then you invited more people after just to come to the party.
that is true. I
We have a
forgot
wedding
to-
in November. Our very good friends.
Forgot
They were
about-
like, we don't really want like a big ceremony, the whole fluff. So they were literally just having a very intimate ceremony with just their families. And then we're all invited to the party afterwards.
I
So,
love the way we did it too, and I feel like some of my guests even loved it. You don't have to sit through a ceremony. Granted, if you love us and you wanted to be there, I'm sorry you weren't invited. But
it was like 15 minutes long, if that.
right, it was
It was
so
entertaining
quick.
as hell, though, honestly.
It was.
But we recorded the whole thing. So if you want to watch that back, we can send it to
Maybe
you.
I'll post it. You never know.
A couple more things before we get to the Reddits. Do not go to somebody's wedding and then just talk badly about their wedding and all the things that they chose to do for their wedding all night long.
Keep it to yourself.
It's just
Because you're gonna think it.
annoying.
You're gonna think it, but don't just. Do you see that over there? Oh my gosh! Look at their floor. Ew! Why would they wear those bridesmaids dresses? Why would they do it this way?
Again,
Shut
it's
up.
because that's the way that they wanted it. And also, like, who are you? The wedding police? Like, keep your freaking opinions to yourself. You got a free dinner.
Mhm.
You're gonna dance the night away. Like, why are you complaining? What else would you have been doing? Sitting at home
Preach.
watching Hunting Wives? Dude, have you watched that show?
Oh my
Holy
God.
moly. Okay. Okay, Brittany Snow, you better calm down, girl.
Golly.
She's getting it. Well, I'm
Poor-
happy for her though, because I did
poor
watch.
Abby.
We are going way off key, but I did watch. What is it called? Selling Sunset, and her husband used to be on there, the OC version.
Oh.
Tyler, I think is his name, and we all knew he was cheating with the other little hottie pants. That I forget her name, but I'm like, Brittany, you deserve better. So now she's over here
See, I
out
haven't
here
watched
just
Selling
showing all
Sunset.
of this goodies, and I was like,
Golly.
listen, if that's not revenge, I don't know what is.
That was such a good show. But
But yeah, if you ain't at home watching Hunting Wives, then shut your mouth. Come to the
Shut your
wedding,
mouth.
eat the food, enjoy yourself. Stop being negative. Nobody wants it. Last one, and then we'll get on to the Reddits. Don't pull the couple off the dance floor.
no, Irish exit. Get out of there.
Like when you're dancing and you're vibing, like especially you were like singing karaoke, doing the whole
Golly.
thing. They were the life of the party. Why is somebody gonna pull you off? Like, talk to me at cocktail hour.
Mhm.
And if the couple is taking photos or whatever, like during dinner service, there's times and places where you can like kind of mingle and talk to them, whatever. Don't pull people off the dance floor. Don't pull the couple off the dance floor when they're vibing and having a good time. Sometimes they only get like an hour and a half to 2 hours of dancing.
And they paid for that. Let them enjoy it.
I said that to people. I was like, look, we will say hi to as many people as we can, but I'm like, meet me on the dance floor. Let's dance. Let's
Yes.
have fun. Let's boogie. I will cut a rug with you, but I don't want to go have a conversation in the corner like I used to with my girlfriends when I was drunk at a party and we're crying in the bathroom. Like, there's a time and a place. I want to dance.
I want to dance.
I want to dance with somebody. Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Reddit.
Reddit. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh.
This episode is wily. People are going to be like, what are we listening to? Episode 9 was unhinged.
This one needs to go to YouTube. For sure, baby.
Okay, Reddit. People are delulu. Like, so off the rocker, off the hinges. They literally need a little bit of therapy. Maybe this is the therapy that they need.
Well, but Reddit's so fun because it's anonymous.
So fun.
You don't know. Like, I can post whatever I want to
I
on
know,
Reddit.
except I like really messed up. I made a Reddit account and I literally named it A Notch Above.
Oh, lordy.
I went to go comment on somebody the other day and I was just like, I probably
Let's not.
shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. The anonymous ones are, yeah, they're wild.
This one says, the bride and groom should always consider hotel costs for guests when booking the venue. What does everyone else think?
Honestly, I don't think this is like a wrong. First of all, you can do hotel blocks for free. Like
Right.
it's a courtesy block. You don't have to necessarily pay. You can definitely call around and get one that doesn't cost anything. I think offering multiple different hotel blocks for people that are in different price ranges is nice because I've had some brides who are like, oh yeah, we have a hotel block at Hotel Bennett, which I don't even think you can do that. But it's a very like higher end, expensive hotel in Charleston. Like $800 a night or something crazy. Like, dude, your guests are not spending that to come stay at your wedding. You're not, like, the whole point of a hotel block is to give them a discount.
What we did too, we had more of like a smaller hotel. Like it wasn't a chain. It was like a random hotel right down the street, 5 minutes from our venue. And it was a little cheaper, but it may have not been the nicest place. And so we had that option, but then we had a little bit more of an expensive. It was like maybe 20 minutes from our venue, and it was a little bit more expensive. So if you want a little bit nicer of a vibe, you could go to our little bit more expensive one. Or if you wanted more accessibility, 5 minutes down the street, not as nice.
You're getting a Howard Johnson, and you might.
There you go.
The comforter suspect, is
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't the comforter suspect on every hotel bed? Don't use it.
Ay.
Disgusting. Here's a good one. If a specific dress is required for bridesmaids or a specific tuxedo is required for groomsmen, the bride and groom should pay for the outfit.
I don't think so.
Absolutely not. What do you want me to dress you to? Like, what are you, 5 years old? First of all, no one said you had to be a bridesmaid or a groomsman. People are asking you, and if you would like to politely decline because you don't want to pay for the item of clothing that you have to purchase or whatever it takes to be that person's right hand man or woman, like just say no. But at no point is a bride and groom responsible for paying for your attire that you're wearing to a wedding.
And luckily, my bridesmaids could pick out whatever dress they wanted, really. Like, I sent inspo pics, and they could buy, like, a $15 dress from Shein if they wanted to, or a $200 dress.
I don't think that you should be going out and being like, you have to buy this $500 gown. Like, everyone has different price points and budgets in their life. Like, I'm not trying. But I was the same way. I was like, hey, this is the color that you're going to wear. Go pick out whatever dress you want. Just, I don't want, like, a bunch of cleavage. I don't want, like, I want it to be appropriate. But I don't know. I think, like, no, you should not have to pay for somebody's attire.
No, I definitely don't
Just
think
politely
so.
decline and say you don't want to be in the wedding.
Yeah, because you don't have to be a bridesmaid. You don't have to be a groomsman.
We talked about bachelorettes and all that stuff. Like, if you can't afford it and you think it's so crazy that they want a destination bachelor party, like, just don't go. Just because you're in the wedding doesn't mean you have to go to the bachelor party.
No, I had some friends not able to go. One, they weren't able to go because they had something else planned prior in advance. But also, like, some people just couldn't afford it. So they didn't really.
Yeah.
They said no. And it didn't hurt my feelings. It was fine. Fine by me.
Yep.
Another one is always have a welcome party or invite guests to rehearsal dinner if they are from out of town or state.
I don't think so. Here's the thing.
No.
Like, I think first of all, you don't want to end up paying for 2 weddings. And I mean, I had literally every single person was considered a destination or, you know, to every single one of my guests, it was considered a destination wedding that they were coming to for us because we were the only ones that lived in South Carolina other than his parents. But I was not about to have like 100 people at my rehearsal dinner. I think a welcome party is a nice gesture. Obviously, if you can afford it, you know, being able to offer, you know, people to get together the night before or whatever, and then maybe having some appetizers, maybe a couple of drinks, but then cutting it off at a certain time. I don't think that that's like outlandish. I mean, again, you can spend so much money on food and alcohol and just like the venue itself that you're reserving. So I don't think it's a requirement.
I definitely think if you can afford a welcome party, invite whoever you want, but rehearsal dinner specifically is only for the people that rehearse that day.
Yeah.
That night.
Honestly.
I had such a tough time
Same.
with this. Like,
I had to tell because I had people that were like,
and
oh, well, they're coming from out of town. So I'm like, I don't care. So, everyone's coming from out of town.
Right.
I'm not having aunts and uncles who aren't walking in the ceremony coming to the rehearsal dinner. First of all, I don't want to see them 2 nights in a row, and go explore. Go hang out by yourself. Like, we'll have the wedding tomorrow. You can see and gather and hang out with everybody. I'm not doing it 2 nights in a row.
Yep.
All right. Always seat couples together, even if one is in the bridal party. Their date should sit with them at the head table, not a completely different table.
I think they should sit with them, because if you try to sit their date or their husband or their wife or their boyfriend, girlfriend at a different table and they have to eat dinner alone after having to sit through the ceremony alone.
And the cocktail hour, probably, because that's when they're taking photos. Like, you basically just didn't even need to come because you're never going to hang out with them.
Now that I say it all out loud, yeah, that's kind of rude. You kind of need to sit them together.
I also think, like,
don't be selfish.
I also think, like, big wedding party tables are kind of a thing of the past. I don't see them very often anymore.
That is true.
Like, maybe every once in a while, but I see more, like, sweetheart tables with the bride and the groom, and then everybody else is at tables. Or if you're having, like, family style and everybody's just at longer tables, I kind of like that. But I am with you. I definitely think it's super uncomfortable if you're allowing somebody to bring a +1, or even they have a wife or a girlfriend or something like that. Like, I don't want to go to a wedding and go sit by myself or with random strangers. And again, it's like before the ceremony, during the ceremony, during cocktail hour, they're taking pictures. Like, you're really having no opportunity to see them until really dinner time. And then if you can't sit with them, then really you're just dancing with them afterwards. So in the grand scheme of a wedding, you're really only hanging out with them for, like, maybe a couple hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is weird. I definitely feel
it's kind of sad seeing them sitting alone too if they don't know anyone else.
Yeah, it's awkward. Okay.
Another one is keeping speeches short. People want to dance, not hear a boast fest.
Dude, I could not agree with this more.
I agree.
Long speeches are my hell. Like, it's so awkward. Like, if you know that your dad's going to sit there and rant for 12 minutes, I think maybe save the speeches for the rehearsal dinner.
Should have done it at the rehearsal dinner.
I'm actually really loving that, like, new trend that people are doing, like, save the speeches for the rehearsal dinner. Unless, like, I don't know, my brother-in-law gave the best speech, hands down, to this day. It was so heartfelt. It was long, though. It was really long, but it was good long. Like, everybody still to this day is like, oh my gosh, his speech was so good. In that case, I'm, like, here for it. Like, a 10-minute speech doesn't feel like 10 minutes if it's really well thought out, if it's really good and you're engaging with people. But a 12-minute speech can feel like an hour when it's done poorly. So I think unless your speeches are, like, 3 minutes tops, which is what they should be, like, I say save them for another day, or just cut people down, because we don't need your whole life story, all your, like, inside jokes. Like, nobody cares to hear that. But also, too, it's your wedding, so do
whatever you want. And I have always kind of thought that doing speeches on the day of the wedding kind of cuts out from the time you spend on your band or your DJ or whatever you plan to do on the day of your wedding. You can do that at your rehearsal and make it, 1, more intimate, and 2, whoever's giving the speech, your maid of honor, best man, give it a little bit more of a less stressful vibe. Instead of doing it in front of
100 people,
200 to 300 people, you could do it in front of 100.
Okay. Expecting guests to abide by a color palette or forbidding some item color for the sake of the aesthetic. Guests are not little props to complement a color scheme. Let people wear what makes them happy so they are happy on the day. Honestly, I kind of agree with this a little bit. I don't think it should be like a strict policy. Like,
unless
people,
it's like white, like you're doing like a white wedding and you say everyone wear white, or like all black. But like if you're trying to like tell people to wear like purples and pinks, I don't know. I think that's kind of.
I also just feel like you can have that as like a guide for people. And I love it when people do, and you have like a full on black wedding, like everybody's wearing black but the bride. Like, I do think that looks really cool. But also, it's like, to require it, I mean, I don't know. I think it's like, whatever. As a guest, if somebody were to be like, please wear black to my wedding, I would be like, 100% I'll wear black to your wedding. Like, totally cool, whatever. Everyone has something black in their closet. If they're like, hey, it has to be yellow, I'm like, I don't like good and yellow.
I think it's a little easier, like say if people were to say like a tropical vibe or like try to outdo the bride or whatever and wear like sparkles. I love it
those
when
are
people
fun.
throw like themes on there and you can wear florals.
But I also think it should be
tropical.
optional. It's
Right.
like just do what you want.
Wear whatever you want.
Just
not
have like some
just
respect
pink.
for the bride. You know, it's like don't show up in
White.
Hawaiian shirts and don't show up in white.
Don't show up in white unless she tells you to.
We've beaten that freaking dead
Please.
horse.
Okay, another one says telling people to book midweek weddings because if they want to be there, they will is toxic. Some people don't get paid time off when they want, like teachers, and no one is entitled to anyone else's paid off time.
Toxic? I don't think that's toxic. First of all, if again, it's you get invited, you can respectively decline to come.
Yeah, just
like,
don't go.
But I don't think it's toxic for somebody to have a wedding midweek. It's like, have you seen the prices for weddings now? Like I've seen more and more Monday weddings, Friday weddings. Like I have a couple of Tuesday, Thursday weddings that they're like elopements or something. Like to say like, if you care, you'll come. It's like, okay, well, if I'm having a midweek wedding, I'm probably not having a giant soiree. I'm probably having a more intimate wedding. So if I want you there and you can't make it, then like, okay.
And also, they might be doing it on purpose because they know that people won't be able to take time off. They want a smaller wedding.
But I just think like to base your PTO off of some like to say that somebody's being toxic because they're not thinking about your PTO. It's like, well, dude, people work on the weekends too. Like, I don't know. That's just a weird concept. Like, I think if you want to go to an event, you just take the time off if it's important for you. It's why you have paid time off.
I don't think it's that serious. Like
I think it's giving like
if you can
I
take
don't
time
know,
off,
very
take time off.
sensitive.
If not, don't.
I feel like that person went off. This person's also going off because all of these are the same person. Most people do not need a bridal shower. To me, they are gift grabs. See lingerie party as well. Who has lingerie parties? I've never heard of that.
A lingerie party? See, we did a lingerie party at my friend's bachelorette party, but
oh yeah, but it's like at your bachelorette party.
yeah, it's like a part of the bachelorette party, and
It's
so
not like a separate party.
Yeah, you didn't throw an extra like decorations or whatever. I mean, I think if someone's hosting a shower, it's typically either like the bride and groom's parents or like the maid of honor or whatever, and that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But granted, if the bride's like forcing it upon them, that's a different thing. But I mean, I don't think that they're a gift grab. Like it's.
I don't think it's a gift grab because I just went to a bridal shower and I literally gave her wedding gift
Right.
at her bridal shower.
You just don't take a gift to the wedding. That you gave them their wedding gift there.
Yeah.
And then
I
if
don't
you
think that they're
can't
asking
go-
for multiple gifts. Like
No.
I was under the assumption that if you're having a bridal shower, you're getting your bridal gift or your wedding gift then. And you just
100%.
like open up your wedding gifts. And then if people don't make it or they can't go to that, then they can obviously use your registry or they can give you a card on the day. But like more and more weddings now, you're not seeing a huge like they'll still have gifts and cards like the table, but like there's very rarely any gifts on the actual table at a wedding. People are usually sending them to you or they're bringing them to your shower or they're giving you cash or whatever it is. So I don't think it's a cash grab. I think you don't understand what a bridal shower is.
Well, and I also feel like that table is for the people that didn't get invited to showers or like we said, couldn't go to the showers because I didn't invite everybody that was coming to my wedding
even
to
have
a
a shower.
Like, and it's not a normal thing.
It
to
would have
just
cost me more money out of my pocket to go to a shower because I would have had to travel all the way up to Michigan where I'm from because I would have no aunts, like no one would have been able to go. So honestly, a shower is optional. You don't have to have a shower. But I also think it's nice to shower your bride. They're getting married one time. So this
they
whole
feel
like,
special.
oh, you're entitled, you're the bride. And then it's like, dude, as soon as it's not about you and it's about somebody else, all of a sudden you're up in arms about this. I'm like, go to
Heaven
the shower, don't go
forbid.
to the shower. But like, stop being so negative about somebody
Bless
being
your
happy
heart.
and having a full year that's about them. As long as they're respectful about it and they're not like, you have to do this, you have to do that. They're bridezilla. It's like, dude, you should want to shower people that you love. This is a happy time in their life. Like, I don't know why there's so much negativity around that.
Speaking about bachelorette parties, this one says expensive bachelor/bachelorette parties are absurd and entitled, and expecting more gifts from third parties also absurd.
Yeah, this is the same person about the showers.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
like,
tell.
you clearly hate people.
They
so like,
are.
just don't have friends.
Don't
Yeah.
invite this person.
I don't know. I mean, just don't go. Like, that's at the end of the day, just don't go.
If the bride or groom invite you on the bachelorette party and it's too expensive for you, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
Just like how you can turn down being a bridesmaid or groomsman. If you can't afford it and you know in advance that you cannot afford the bachelorette party, or that you cannot afford your dress or your suit or tuxedo, whatever, hair, makeup,
Say no.
say no. Say no. Be respectful
It's
and just
not
say
a
no.
hard concept. Just say no. Not giving people plus ones is rude. First of all, it's not rude. People have to pay a lot of money out of pocket to have weddings. We did not have a lot of money from our parents. We paid a lot of money out of our own pockets. We worked second jobs for this wedding. Like, if I don't know your girlfriend of 3 weeks, like, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a plus one. I'm not inviting her to my wedding. I don't want to be meeting a bunch of people on my wedding day.
I think that's the biggest thing. It needs to be based off of your relationship status. If you're single, you don't get a plus one. You don't get a plus one because
Who are you going to bring? Some random person off the street just so you're not by yourself at a wedding?
I
That's
don't want to
weird.
be introduced to someone at my wedding.
It's
Like, if
tricky because I mean, I do get it. I just saw a really good TikTok today, and this girl did make a point, and she was really
How
sweet
did
and
she do
sincere
it?
about it. But she was like, "Hey, like, I had been in a relationship for like 6 years, and then I went to my first wedding ever where I was single. And even though I knew everybody at this wedding, I knew the couple. She's like, I felt really secluded and really alone. She's like, it would have been really nice to have a plus one so that I didn't feel." That way. Like,
Mhm.
even on the dance floor, it was like everybody coupled up and I didn't have anybody. And she's like, I felt really, really secluded. So I can see like devil's advocate there, but also it's like, it's not my responsibility as the couple that's like paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for this event to like cater to you. Again, if you don't feel comfortable going to a wedding by yourself, then just don't go. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm being bratty when I say that, but I'm like, if you gave everybody a plus one, you're spending just a lot of money on food and alcohol, and it gets a little crazy.
This one says having the expectation of gifts from guests and being mad when people don't give you something is rude. You're already asking them to give you the most precious gift, their time.
This person, I'm assuming it's a woman, just by the way that she's writing it out,
Mhm.
but she's giving toxic.
Cheap.
She's giving toxic. I'm like, dude, what? First of all, if you are showing up to a wedding and you don't have a gift, shame on you. That's crazy.
Especially if you didn't get invited to a shower. Like, if you didn't get invited to a shower and you show up empty-handed to a wedding and you didn't mail the bride and groom a gift.
Your presence is a gift? Like, what? Get over yourself, first of all. Second of all, no, sorry, your presence isn't a gift. Like, I paid money and I spent money on your food, on your drinks, on the entertainment. I thought a lot about the guest experience. You're not going to bring me a gift? It's our wedding. It doesn't have to be like an extravagant gift, but like at least bring something. At least give something.
Literally.
It's to celebrate somebody.
Literally.
Would you go to a birthday party and not have a birthday gift? Like, would you go to somebody's baby shower and not give them a freaking gift for the baby? Like, no, it's so weird. Don't go to an event that's celebrating somebody and not give them anything. That's rude.
I agree.
I hate this
Wait,
person.
I do too. Read this last one, Lindsay.
The ceremony is for the couple. The reception is for the guests. Honor them like they honor you by being there. I literally,
She is mental.
I want to meet this person.
She is mental.
She's psychotic. We should name her
Let's do it.
Brenda. Sorry to all you Brendas out there. No way to shade. Oh, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. I probably know a Brenda's number that's gonna give me
Brenda.
like.
I know,
some-
Brenda.
Dude, yeah, this chick is absolutely off her rocker. Like, yes, consider the guest experience. I think that is important. As a wedding planner, as a former bride, I thought a lot about the guest experience. I've had brides that I've turned down when they've asked me to be their planner, when they simply were like, I don't care if my guests eat crackers at my wedding. Like, I want this, this, and this. And I was like, well, you have to feed them, and your price point like isn't going to feed them, so you maybe just need to like lower the guest count or figure something out. And she was like, I don't care, I'll feed them crackers at my wedding. And I was like, yeah, we're not a good fit.
No.
I was like,
I-
we're not feeding your guests crackers. Like, come on,
You're
that's
dropped.
crazy. But yes, think about the guest experience. But to say that, first of all, a wedding is there, you're there to honor the couple. Now, they are hosting the event most likely, or somebody else is hosting it on their behalf, but like,
Well, they're honoring you by inviting you.
to sit
Like,
there and say
You have the privilege.
that the reception is, you're the guests of, like, that's wild to me. That's just
the
giving
reception
entitlement.
is the celebration of their marriage from the ceremony. In my
And
opinion.
also, it's like we're paying for a DJ or a band, a lot of money for a band, for your entertainment. Like,
we've
we are
already
thinking
honored
about
you enough.
We've fed you. We've given you free alcohol. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Like somebody popping out of a cake
I
and
hope
like
this person.
giving you a gift since you didn't bring a gift to my wedding? Like, what is this?
I hope they never get invited to a wedding ever again.
Guess who I'm not inviting to my next wedding?
Brenda. Brenda.
All right, guys. Well, we hope this was entertaining. We hope it gave you a lot of like good tips. Obviously, all those red flags. Make sure that you're looking out for those before you book your vendors, before you pick that venue. Of course, you can always ask us questions. Reach out to us. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We'll have all of that in our show notes below. You can also call that hotline. Cam, what's that number?
It is 320-558-7787 or RSVP.
Yes. And of course, guys, reach out to us, call us, leave us voicemails. We want to hear all of your dirt. We want to also hear your hot takes. So give us some of your hot takes.
Call us about anything and everything.
As always, happy planning and do not forget to RSVP. Thanks.